All right, ready? Welcome to the Faithfully Unfiltered podcast with Elle
and Nicole. Here we go.
Here we go. It's been a long time coming,
I know.
but it needed to happen. So we just wanted to take our first episode to talk about kind of just where we started and
Why we started,
where we came from, and that's really it.
and what led us here.
here. And I really felt like there was a verse that the Lord gave me to kind of start this in Revelation.
Perfect.
Revelation 12:11 says, "They triumphed over him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony." And I really felt like that's where we start, is like just sharing how we got here, because really nothing else mattered before or really after that. That's really how people are saved. That's why people get saved, is through hearing other people's testimony. There might be things that you went through that can help other girls or boys, and same with me. So our hope is that through our suffering and pain and through us just getting to know Jesus and growing closer to him and understanding his word and really understanding the truth, that we've been able to become more free. And we hope that for everyone else watching.
Yeah, that we can be your living proof that you can be saved through grace. Do you want to backtrack? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Do you want to go into a little bit why we started this podcast?
Sure.
Or I can start. Doesn't matter.
You start.
Okay. So I actually thought Elle should do a podcast because we have been best friends for how many years now?
Oh my gosh. Well, we've like known each other, I feel like, since we were like 10.
Yeah.
But
we grew really close, 18?
Yeah, like 17, 18. Yeah.
And then we definitely went through a lot of lows together, probably the lowest parts of our lives together. And our friendship has always been, what's that parallel? Like we've always been like together-ish.
Yeah. Even on like completely different paths.
Yes.
Like we always stayed together.
Yeah. And one thing we have in common is talking.
Yep.
And we would always send each other voice messages. And it honestly started, I feel like, when you gave birth to Vera during COVID. We talked a lot. We got very close during that time. And we would always send voice messages to each other. And then once we got closer in our faith together, we talked a lot about God, and it was so refreshing having that friendship. But the messages were getting to like 20 minutes long. They were mini episodes, and I said, like, you should just start a podcast. And then Elle got it on her heart to say that she wanted to include me in it, and then we have fully given timing and everything to God. And the church that we go to, they ended up making a podcast studio in it, like randomly when we were thinking about it. Like it's so insane how everything kind of just flowed so naturally and perfectly. And then so here we are. And with the name, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
With the name that we have, this is like completely unedited, fully raw, like what you get from this.
For better or worse.
Yes. Like so sorry if it's a little unperfect, but that's what it's going to be. It's going to be imperfect. It's raw, candid, and it's just like highlighting our friendship, what's the center of it, what keeps us so strong, and I'm just so excited.
It's so interesting because even from when you were talking, there was like so many thoughts flowing through my brain.
Isn't that crazy?
As they do all the time. I never stop thinking. But we were not believers when we became friends. And then we both just happened to find the Lord at the same time and didn't know. I had no idea you had had your own encounter. You had no idea that I had had my encounter. And it was something that was truly just, like, it was like divine timing of just like, 100%. He knew what he was doing. And then it also reminded me of when Barb prayed over us. Oh my gosh. When Barb prayed over us and had said, or no, it was you, I think. And that God had told her, like, that he's seen our relationship from the beginning. Yeah. And it made me think, like, when you said start a podcast, it's literally like God made us, like, Moses and Aaron. Like literally, like two people, like one might feel not as qualified. They both have their imperfections, but like he works with both of them and uses both of their strengths to get the job done.
Right.
And I feel like that's what he's doing with us.
Yep.
And one thing we also have in common, which kind of flowing into our next topic, is our father issues.
Wounds. Yeah. Yeah, to say the least.
Which kind of started all of it.
Yeah.
But so if you want, do you want to start kind of?
I think we want to share just so people, there's going to be a lot of familiar people that are watching us that know us from the past and whatever. But we wanted to just be bold, and sharing our testimony is something that we know can change somebody else's perspective in their life.
Yeah.
So we definitely wanted to touch on our testimonies a little bit, what brought us to God, and kind of go from there. But I also, we are such tangent people. We are like,
We go on tangents a lot.
When you said about kind of our similarities with like our dad, that also tied into like when we both found God like at the same time, like, well, not found, but we started that journey at the same time. And it was, I think I said like I went to church.
Yeah.
Or I invited you to the last church I went to. And then you mentioned, we could always go into that a little bit, but I just think it's funny that we've had so many similarities, but so many differences. And I think that's what's so beautiful about what people are going to hear from us is like, you can be so different. It could be so different, but there's so many like root problems and wounds that I think people can relate to that we've had.
100%. And going back to like what you were saying, it's like, God used us even on such different paths, but we still were able to, I mean, we were like hanging out till like 5 a.m, like talking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Completely secular too, like drinking, all types of things. And then, I think actually when we first started to kind of come out and say, like kind of just, I started to say like, hey, this is happening in my life. We were literally at a bar.
Yeah.
We were still drinking. We were still like, I think I
So
might have like
confused,
started to like not be drinking, but it was very low key. I hadn't like said it. Like I might have been saying like my
You didn't say
stomach
you were
hurts
fully
or
sober,
something.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I might have been like, my stomach hurts. I'm only going to have one glass. But I hadn't come out yet, and neither did you. And I remember you telling me that you had like a touch, and Kaylee was there too.
Yeah.
Our best friend. Our shared best friend. But she was there too, and we kind of just both were like, I was just like, this happened to me. I'm having dreams. I'm having these like convictions. I don't even know what's going on.
I'm having spiritual warfare.
You're like,
too.
hold on. Like I forgave my dad like not that long ago. Like whatever. Like it was just this weird thing that just like we didn't plan it. We weren't together. It was just completely on different paths.
Natural.
And we just ended up being together on it, you know? And I've always said that you're that friend for me that like, you are like an anything friend. Like you will come to the park with me and my kids. You'll also like go for a walk with just me. We can go out to dinner together. Like you are just that person. Yes, literally. Like you're that person that I can like put my kids down and just be like, just come over at like 9:30 and we'll hang out.
All of your family parties.
And then we say we're going to hang out till 11 and then it's like
4 a.m.
Yeah, literally like 2 a.m. But
do you want me to go a little bit into my testimony?
yeah, let's
I
start.
don't think we're going to dive too deep, but we'll definitely
We're a little
touch.
flexible today.
Yeah.
We're flexible.
We'll touch
We're
on it.
unfiltered.
We're unfiltered.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we going like full childhood, you think?
It's really whatever you're comfortable with.
I think we'll start with, I just want to touch on the father part. Also, me and my father to this day, I just want to say like have a beautiful relationship now. I love him dearly. So anything that's talked about is like so from the past, and I wouldn't change it because like where we are now.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of darkness that came from that situation. So my parents were together for 17 years. They did split when I was in 6th grade. And I had a really hard time coping with that. I was very hard on my mom, which we both can relate to as well. We were very tough on our moms. Anything that she said that I should do, I wouldn't want to do. I backlashed a lot. It led into very poor relationships with men. With an ex is like certainly, but So it gets uncomfortable. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It's heavy.
Yeah. So this might be cut.
It's okay.
Maybe. Oh, no,
That's
we
okay.
said we're not cutting. I just
It's
have
all
to
right.
get over it.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Just go as deep as you will, as you
Yeah.
want, or as like
see.
we'll get there.
Okay, so yeah, just went through some hard times. Definitely went through, and I think this is uncomfortable to admit, just very depressive states. I was at my lowest of lows. I was drinking. I was not eating. I was hiding abuse. I hated myself. Like, you would have never known either, too, on the outside. I faked it till I made it. I would be the happiest person in the world, but deep down I was just hurting inside. I was trying to fulfill so many wounds that couldn't be fulfilled. You're not going to find fulfillment from the world. You're not. You can't go out till 4 in the morning with strangers and alcohol and whatever else you're coping with and think that's going to be fulfilling. And I was seeking that. I was fully seeking that. And I found like my wit's end, and I didn't know what to do. And someone had mentioned, like, I've always known about God. I grew up Catholic. I've always known the presence of him. I've always known of him. But I didn't know Jesus. I didn't know Jesus' heart. I didn't know his story. I went to summer school, like church summer school. Like, I didn't go all year long. I just went for like a few weeks. So I didn't even really consume like anything. Like any
the
of
word, you mean?
Yeah,
like
like none of it. I didn't really know like the history of anything. Even like the coming of like Jesus' resurrection. Like, I'd be like,
I feel
I have
like
no idea
it's
what
more
that
like
even
Jesus
means.
died for your sins.
Yeah.
Period.
And
Like,
like
that's
I
it.
never wanted to listen to like when I'd be in church, like I checked out. I never listened to the word, like nothing. So it was all very new to me when I started going to church. And I just remember when, and there's a lot in between this, I just want to kind of jump a little bit. The one thing that I know I needed to do to move forward, that when I did start my relationship with God, was forgiveness. I wasn't moving forward with not forgiving my father. And it took my aunt's passing to really bring us together. But in those moments, sometimes death can bring life. And I think that's also kind of goes hand in hand with Jesus. But death can bring life. And that's kind of what he did with my relationship with my dad at that point. I did start like fully diving into like going to church, being consistent with it, but then that started changing my lifestyle. So then that stopped with the drinking, stopped with the going out, my dating life changed, my mouth changed, like literally. The swearing, the cussing, all of that changed and developed. We actually got baptized together. And through that past like it's been like a year and a half ish since we got baptized. And I think during that time was when I felt the most connected to Jesus. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I feel very, there's ups and downs. Like we were even just talking like a week ago where we felt a little bit further. But here we are.
Here we are.
I don't know if that really even made sense of my
Thanks
testimony.
for sharing. No, it did.
There's so many details. That
There's
I feel
so
like
many.
There's so many. I think
but we
just,
can get into it as
I
time
think
goes
just
on.
basis was like, I just backlashed a lot.
Yeah.
My father issues.
Yeah.
There's a lot. And then, I think the biggest thing for me was forgiveness. I feel like I'm missing something, but it's okay.
Yeah. I think that was good for like our start.
Yeah. Okay,
that made a lot of sense. For me, same father type of wounds, but it was a little bit different. My dad passed away when I was 11, as did, it wasn't just him. This is really important that it wasn't just him. It was also my aunt, who was my godmother, who I was very, very close to, and then also 2 of my uncles. They all passed within a year of each other. And that just, more than anything, like scared me. Like I became kind of numb, and I always had this burning question inside of me of just like, what happens to you when you die? Because I wanted that peace and that comfort of knowing where my dad was. Like that was something that always lingered with me, was just like, where is he? You know what I mean? And I thank God for that question now, even though it tormented me for years, and really made me go into a really dark hole that, thank God, Jesus pulled me out of. But you know, it literally like I went like tumbling into this dark hole because I just wanted my mind to be quiet. Like, I just wanted peace. And I was not at peace. Like, my soul was at war with something I didn't know, but I knew I was at war. And it was just manifesting in really disturbing ways. I always say, like, the only people that truly knew how bad I really was my mom, my brothers, and my ex-boyfriend. That's it.
Yep.
My best friend, kinda, but I feel like I even knew I didn't go as deep with her. She was always like a source of comfort for me, and I always felt like a kid around her. But other than that, like, I was just a monster, and it would come out, especially when I was drinking or when I was just in really unhealthy situations, mainly the drinking. That I was definitely like an angry drunk. You also didn't really know what you were gonna get with me. I was either like really like funny and fun and like dancing on tables, or I was like trying to fight people and being really nasty. So, but all of that to say, it was my soul crying out for help. And I was trying to this is what I wanted to say so bad. It took everything not to interrupt, because you know I can't.
Right now.
I always interrupt. No, literally, like, I just want to interrupt, but I was like,
your time.
I'm not doing it. It's putting like a Band-Aid on a bullet wound.
Yep.
Like, you're hurting, and there's this hole inside of you that like cannot be fulfilled. Like, you find that temporary fulfillment. Like, I will be the first person to say, when you're out and drinking, you're having fun. Like, it feels like fun, but it's killing you. Like, it's literally killing your soul. It's killing your spirit, and it's killing you physically, not to be dramatic, but it's like alcohol is just not, it's like poisoning your body, you know? And so I was just putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. And it wasn't until I had my kids, I became pregnant at 19. I was not married. Also, which this could be a whole other episode, we were in a very toxic relationship at the time. But when I became pregnant, it was like my whole world flipped upside down when I became a mom, because it was like, and this is something that the enemy, I think, really is trying to attack right now, is that when you become a mom, there's something lit inside of you where you're just like, there's more. Like, there is more in this world. Like, there's no way that I just actually brought a soul, a living human being into this world, and it's just nothing. And so I had pretty terrible postpartum anxiety, which led me to, I'm going to try to speed it up just a little.
Fine.
But I, anyways, got pregnant with my second. And because my postpartum anxiety and depression was so bad with my first, I was terrified of like experiencing postpartum again with a toddler and a baby. Like, I was just like, this is going to be terrible.
Scary.
Like, I was terrified. And so I was really depressed. I started having panic attacks, and like, my husband can like attest to this. I went back to school, and I was like having literal panic attacks in my bed. I couldn't get out of bed. I was so depressed. When like, I was okay when he wasn't home, but like the second he got home, it was like I was able to like be in survival mode when he wasn't home. So I was able to like get it done and everything. But the second he would come home and I knew I had like relief, I'd be sleeping all day. Like, I couldn't get out of bed. I just couldn't do anything. And then after I had her, so I went to a doctor actually, and I got prescribed Zoloft. And then I had a bad reaction. So then they gave me Lexapro, and I hated it. It made me feel like I was a zombie.
Yep.
Like, it like took away the depression, and it took away like I would just say depression, but it just numbed me. Yeah. And I was just like, what is going on? So, and they told me it was like fine while I was pregnant and everything, gave birth, didn't know you had to like wean yourself off. So I quit cold turkey. I had a mental break. Like, I was mentally broken. I did not know what to do. I literally got to a point where I just started praying, and I didn't even know who I was praying to or what I was doing. I was just like, there has to be help out here. I'm going insane. I was having the worst intrusive thoughts. I was just struggling so badly, and I thought it was just like hormone imbalance.
Right.
There was something mentally like not okay with me. And so I started calling out, and then all of a sudden I just started getting answers in Jesus. I can't even tell you what happened. It wasn't like a big moment. It just was like a progressive thing that just started with like, you should read the Bible. You should say this prayer. You should do this. And I was like, I just kept having these little like pulls to do this and to do that. And I started reading the word. The enemy, I was pushed into like the worst spiritual warfare ever. I was just, it was just my mind was being attacked every day. And even with my kids, I even remember I was like yelling at them, which I didn't do before. And it was just really bad. I was super broken. And just slowly but surely, Jesus just started to heal my mind. Literally, I was getting delivered of things that I didn't even know I needed deliverance from. I just started to see the world so differently. I would go out, couldn't even stomach it. Like, I was just like, I don't belong here. And I just naturally started to change. Like, my heart just genuinely started to change. And it wasn't something that someone told me. No one told me I had to do it. It was something deep inside that I was just like, this is just real.
Yeah.
Like, this is real. So many details that I'm leaving out. I'm like, I can't go there because then I have to backtrack. So I just have to like keep going.
That's how I felt when I was talking to you, and I wanted to touch on it because I feel the same exact way in the sense of like, I feel like some people have this like big moment, this big break of something occurring, or this big like, I died and I saw God.
Yeah,
like now I believe. Like
something big.
Mine was like the same way. Like I got like invited to go to a different church before we found like our home church here. And I went, and I personally started feeling and hearing God through music. So that's kind of where my pull kind of came from. And I would be praying to it or talking out loud and not knowing who I'm talking to or not realizing the power of prayer. Like if you ask, he will answer. Might not be that moment, but he will answer. So asking certain things or whatnot, and then like going to church that Sunday and then hearing certain words in a song, and it's like, whoa, okay, or you like, just feel the Holy Spirit, you just feel the Holy Spirit just there, or just in scripture. Then, like you said, like you just kind of get those little tugs, and that's how mine was. No one told me to do it. No one forced me. You kind of just are like, what now? What? Like when you hit that low of a low, and you're realizing like there's no fulfillment in anything else, and then you seek God, and then you realize how fulfilling it is. Don't you wish you could go back? Like,
no, literally, I want to smack myself so bad. Like, what are you doing?
We wouldn't change anything, obviously, but like it's so, like I just wish I knew this so much earlier.
And it's so beautiful because he like redeems it too.
Yes,
like he redeems you. He doesn't just say, "Okay, I forgive you now." Okay. He actually is so good that he will redeem those things that were broken. Like my mental now, I sometimes
is healthy.
Like I'm trying to complain about something. Yeah. And I'm like, I just don't have anything to complain about. Like I'm alive, I'm breathing, my kids are healthy, I'm healthy. What am I complaining about?
That's so funny you said that. This morning, I literally, this past like couple weeks have been just like testing, like very testing, and that comes. Yeah. Obviously, even when, and this I feel like is something we've wanted to touch upon, even when you like become saved and like you start following Jesus, it's not like your life's gonna be perfect. Yeah, everything's gonna be handed to you. There's gonna be no struggles. Like honestly, I feel like you get kind of hit with the worst, and like your faith gets tested because you have to believe in what he has for you. And sometimes the worst situations is because he's breaking you. And we've gone through that. We've gone through the crushing. We've gone through like the snake just shedding completely off of you, and you become new. But this morning I was just praying, and I wanted to just like, I was like, I'm being way too negative. Like, and then you just start listing and like thanking God for all the positives, and then everything else goes away. And it's just so beautiful how your mind can shift, because I could have sat with that all day. Old me would have. Yeah. I would have made every excuse in the book to just be miserable all day and let it ruin everything and have that be an excuse and have that be a crutch. But like, why? Yeah. And it's not even like a thought. Yeah. Because he comes through for you.
He does. It's literally like, it's in Philippians where he's like, don't be anxious, like be thankful, be grateful. And that's really what it comes down to with him. And because what he does is, this sounds so corny, but like, you know, they're like, God doesn't always change your circumstances, but you still have a choice. Like in those circumstances, like there are circumstances you're going to be in that are not ideal, whether that's financial, health, whatever it is. And it's your heart posture that will either make or break you, because we're all going to suffer. And I think that's, people have really strayed away from the true message of the gospel. And I think that partially it's because of people who are not truly preaching the real gospel. But I also think it's because they can't fathom, because they've created God as an idol in their mind of how they believe he should act, that now when it doesn't go that way, they're either like, he's either not real or he's not good.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yep.
You accept God for all that he is.
Because
and
he does that
changes
for us.
you. Yeah. And so it's like I said, people will take, like, for instance, somebody saying God is love, right? Yes, God is love, but he's the author of love. And he's the one that gets to decide what that is. If he's the one that created it, if he's the one who is love, he gets to say what that means. But people will say God is love and then put their definition of what they think love is or should be. And now they have beef with somebody that's not even real. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's not God though. Like, he's not this person that's just like, la da 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 da. No. And if you look at the life of Jesus, he suffered more than anyone.
Anybody.
He was homeless. He like, I always say, like, just picture for a second that you do that Christ's life is real. I know some people don't believe, but just imagine it for a second. He was homeless. So you're saying he left the throne in heaven. He had an entire kingdom that belongs to him. He was there for the creation of the world. He left there to come down here to ghetto earth, to walk and be homeless, to be just basically used and abused, to be tempted in every single way you could possibly imagine, to then be completely guiltless and be crucified, the most excruciating death you could possibly die of as an innocent person for people who are killing him. Because that's who he did it for. People think that it's the religious leaders. No, it's every sin that you commit, every sin that I commit is what put Jesus on that cross.
Yes.
Nobody suffered more than him. He gets it. He joins you in that suffering, and he says, like, I got you. You know what I mean? I know what you're going through. I relate to it. Because one thing about life is everybody's going to suffer in some way, shape, or form. But it's like, who's in that fire with you? You know?
And I think that's what brings comfort in those situations, is knowing that. I know we've both gone through our fair share of struggles, like in this past year, past 2 years, currently, like all of that. And I think what brings us the most comfort is knowing we can go to the Word, find answers, find calmness, find peace in all of that to make us be